First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Mang Liaoming, homage to Master Sakya Tsung Kong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice tonight, the one Amitabha Buddha, the infinite light, Tathagata, the infinite life, Tathagata, and the longevity Tathagata, who are full of grace, and all their retinue. Sumo, Tanchen Ketso, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, all disciples present here and over the internet, and our participating VIPs today are Madam to Ambassador Daniel Liao, the rep from Republic of China to Norway and Sweden, Dharma Sister Judy, the accountant to True Buddha Foundation, Dharma Sister Teresa, law advisor to True Buddha Foundation, the attorney Jennifer Zhou, and from Sao Paulo University in Brazil, Professor Chen and his wife, Dr. Chen. And Dr. Hang Zhou, and Dr. Ryan Zhuang, and law advisor to Buddha Foundation, Miss Kim Ong. And the group practice today is the first deity of the 8 main deities of True Buddha School, which is Amitabha Buddha, Amitabha Tathagata. Most importantly, I chanted his infinite light because he is endowed with infinite light and infinite life. So Amitabha Tathagata has infinite life. He's everlasting. So the same in Christianity, the ever life. So always it's eternal. And the longevity Tathagata and many other emanations, they are all considered their retinue. At the beginning of the Amitabha Tathagata group practice, the deity yoga, Amitabha deity yoga, continually his retinue, many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all descended. Because there was extremely bright, brilliant light, And there were lots of spiritual experiences continually generated from Grandmaster's body. I felt that my mind is completely at peace and calm. Actually, this peace and calmness or serenity is not like dead water. Just now, during the merit dedication, I have said it. It's a moving water. However, it is clean and radiant, clear. So the flowing water is extremely clean, clear, pure, and bright. So it's not like dead water where there is no inflow and no outflow. That's not like that. It's calm, but it's not moving. That's called dead water. If in your spiritual cultivation you become like dead water or dead wood, then that would be nihilism, complete emptiness. So like a wilted tree, there's no life anymore. So dead wood or the dead ash, it's become ash, no more use. So the true ultimate attainment is moving, is flowing. It's clear and bright and radiant. So it's lucid, bright, radiant, clean, pure, and clear. That's true attainment. It doesn't matter whether it's in meditation. Actually, you're moving, flowing. But that kind of moving is very joyous, very happy. It's always progressing. Like now, if in your meditation you get joy and happiness, then you would be very diligent and very happy to do the four immeasurables, to be kind, compassionate, joyous, and equanimous. I talked about it last week at the Seattle Temple, and at the Rainbow Temple I also talk about self, permanence, bliss, and purity. So what is kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity? It is moving, flowing, and it has effect, benefits of function. And in the self-permanence, bliss, and purity, that kind of bliss is also moving or flowing. It's not dead, like dead water or dead wood or dead ash. That would be nihilism. Then it has no function, no benefits. So if in your Buddhist practice you become nihilism, then you have no function at all, no effect. So today, seated here, my mind was extremely serene. So during meditation, I just say it according on what's on my mind. I didn't plan on it. It just flowed naturally. But my mind was completely serene and radiant. During the group practice, there were lots of radiant light shining upon me. And I couldn't open my eyes. Sometimes I wanted to open my eyes, but I couldn't. So I felt the bright, strong light. That at first my mind was turbulent or moving, and then it becomes very calm and peaceful. And I felt that it was really quite deep, and I almost fell into sleep, but not quite. So it was just between sleep and awake. That's called meditation. And in the beginning, I saw Amitabha Buddha at the front. So in our meditation practice, we need to remember it is this kind of phenomena. You almost fall asleep, but not quite. And your mind is completely settled, completely quiet, serene, and radiant. This kind of states, and this is called samadhi, because Amitabha Buddha is in front of you, so it's called the samadhi with form. And you're focused on Amitabha Buddha. So you are still in the meditation with form. However, you have a taste of it, that it is not a coarse samadhi, but a rather fine samadhi. And it will happen. It happens during the meditation. So the coarse samadhi meditation is different from the meditation of a fine samadhi. So the samadhi is rather coarse. So it is a different kind of meditation. So the Amitabha practice today is really excellent. So I have no more afflictions whatsoever, no more worries, concerns, and negative emotions. All my karma is being eradicated by Amitabha Buddha. All obstructions and hindrances are eradicated by Amitabha Buddha. So that kind of feeling, you feel very easy and light, and your mind is bright and radiant, and you feel very calm and peaceful and serene. So this kind of spiritual experiences will happen. Huh? I thought there was some sound. So today, let's talk a little bit that last week at Lamdre, we did not talk about last week at the Rainbow Temple, we didn't talk about Lamdre. There are 4 kinds of empowerments. The first one is vase empowerment, and empowerment for inner tantra, and the secret empowerment. And then the last one is the most secret empowerment. And there are many other names to it. So the first empowerment, the second, third, and fourth level empowerments. There are 4 different kinds according to the different levels. And now we are talking about the 4th empowerment. It's more or less the same. So this empowerment is during the bardo or intermediate state. So you need to rely on the empowerment that you have received. So if all you get is the vase empowerment, that's the first level empowerment, then your situation will be this during the bardo state. And for the second level, or for the secret empowerment, or the most secret empowerment, and during the bardo state, your situation would be like that. And the 4th level empowerment is the same as the empowerment for the great perfection. And during the bardo or intermediate state, the situation would be, if one has reached the transference of consciousness, then one must be in the intermediate state. And that's called, you are a soul now. It's the same. So, if you master the transference of consciousness, there was a female disciple that gave Grandmaster a birthday card. And she said, Grandmaster, today is your 75th birthday. If after your birthday, one day you are about to leave the Saha world, that your lifespan is about to end, please come to my womb to be reborn. I am willing to give birth to you. And I would raise you that in the future you would continue the Dharma propagation. So this disciple is very smart. She just got married not long ago. And she said that at your end of your life, when you are about to leave the Saha world, please radiate light and enter into my womb, and I'm willing to give birth to you, and I'm willing to raise you, and then you can continue your Dharma propagation and salvation of sentient beings. This is the first time I received such a birthday card. So, if you can master your own life and death, that's called transference of consciousness. So you can move your own soul to her womb And then she would give birth to me and raise me and to study Buddhism, and in the future to teach sentient beings. That's called transference of consciousness. Because if your consciousness wants to be reborn in the Saha world to continue the salvation of sentient beings, then I would be able to enter into her womb whenever she's pregnant. Then I would change my body and be reborn again. Because this body I have used for 75 years. I can become a newborn baby and grow up. This is called the transference of consciousness, the reincarnation in the human world, a kind of reincarnation. So as living Buddha comes this way, you transfer your consciousness into the womb of your disciple and be reborn again because you have such ability. You're able to pinpoint her and enter into her womb. So basically, that's how you're being reborn in the human world. Or you can do the transference of consciousness to be reborn in the heavenly realms for a while. Or I want to return to the Maha Twin Lotus Pond, then I can transfer my consciousness there. There would be the Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha. Or I would go to the marvelous joy Pure Land, the place of Akshobha Buddha, the immovable Buddha in the East. The marvelously joyous Pure Land. Or I want to go to the Yuan Tong Pure Land of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Or you attain Buddhahood directly, you become a Buddha directly. That's also transference of consciousness. So I let my consciousness out and then I transform it and to become a Buddha, an emanated Buddha. So this is called transference of consciousness. But if you have received the fourth empowerment, but you have not mastered the transference of consciousness ritual, then you must follow your own soul, and you have to do the following. There are three mindfulness. The first one is toward the Guru who gives you the fourth empowerment. You need to be mindful of that Guru. You need to think of that Guru. Anyone having received the base empowerment, the second level empowerment, that you need to be mindful of the lineage root Guru of the second level empowerment. So for each level of the empowerment, you need to be mindful of the root Guru of that level of empowerment. So this mindfulness is extremely important, crucial. You need to think of or be mindful of the Guru who gives you the empowerment. And you need to be mindful towards the Vajra Polan path as instructed. You need to be able to see it. You need to be mindful of the Vajra Polan path of the lineage root Guru. When I gave teaching of the development stages of Tantrayana, Guru Tsongkhapa appeared during the first teaching. During the opening, the first exposition of the development stages of Tantrayana, Ngakrim, then Guru Tsongkhapa appeared in the sky, radiating rays, like waves of light rays toward you. So that's the Vajra Polan path. of the Guru. And third, mindful towards its realization of the ultimately pure, true suchness of emptiness and bliss. And with single-mindedness and mindfulness, these three should be attained in one sitting. Guru, the Vajrapolan path that he instructed, the Dharma, and in your spiritual cultivation, you experience the bliss, emptiness, and the true suchness and purity. And you need to be focused and single-minded and mindful on these three. That's why I say the mind is extremely crucial. And during the main practice, the five upholdings and 7 affinities arising simultaneously, seeking to rely on the refuge by the power of past mindfulness. Generally, you are mindful toward your root guru, so that in your intermediate state you can also mindful toward your root guru. This is extremely important. So like the little chili from Malaysia, that's her nickname, but now she is in Australia and she opened a Malay restaurant. Her father was mindful of the lineage root guru. So as long as he is thinking of the root guru and relies on the root guru, then the root guru will appear. During the intermediate state, if you can rely and think of the root guru, then you are saved, you would be delivered. If you are not able to do so, then it would be like dreaming at night. Like in your dreams at night, if you encounter something and you cannot be mindful of your root guru, yidam or protector, you cannot chant the mantra of the root guru, yidam or protector. If you can, then you would be saved. Like if you have bad dreams and you chant Om Guru Lien Seng Siti Hom, the root guru mantra, then the bad dream will disappear and you can wake up. The bad dream will stop immediately. This is extremely important. So every night, I face my bed. When I do the protection, I pray that I don't have any bad dreams at night. Although it may not be extremely auspicious, but at least there's nothing bad, just neutral, no bad dreams. So after doing the ceremonial, the boundary and protection, then that would be the state. But if you don't do the protection, there's some things that would enter, then you would have some bad dreams. But in bad dreams, you still have to be mindful of your root guru, of your own yidam, and chant the yidam's mantra. Then you would be able to resolve your bad dreams. So it's the same situation in the intermediate state. You are confused and befuddled, but if on your mind they are still your root guru and yidam and protector, then you would be saved. So mindful towards the Guru who gave instruction on purity, towards the Polan path. With this too, one is also able to make the Qi to enter, abide, and exit the 3 channels. Lastly, the 2 channels are of one taste as the central channel, and the entering Qi and exiting Qi are of one taste as the abiding Qi. One enters into the 4 actions and be one taste with one's mind. After confirming the most supreme emptiness and bliss by the wisdom blessings of the intermediate state, one attains birth continuum of no karma, raises the goal, and attains the clear radiance. So if you can be mindful and rely, then the root guru, yidam, and protector will enter into your soul. When they enter into your soul, all the same, they would abide inside your soul. Your guru, yidam, and protector would merge with your soul, just like during our spiritual practice. When the yidam enters into our body and residing inside our body and merging with us, and then together you can raise your level or your goal, and that would be the good place or the good realm. So to rise your realm, so you go to the heavenly realms, the realm of the great Brahma heaven, the realm of form, or you can rise higher to the realm of no form, or you go to the realm of desire, the place of the yellow Jambala. So it would rise your spiritual realm. And you know how long the life of Brahma, the great Brahma king? In Buddhism, it's to 100 years, and 1 year is the same as the one destruction of the earth. So one cycle of birth, abiding, destruction, and emptiness. So just imagine 100 years, how long that is. That's a 100 cycle of the creation and destruction of the earth. So just imagine in heaven, you could live to be 100 years, but 1 year is the one cycle of creation and destruction, creation to destruction of the earth, and 100 of that. So his life is extremely long. So if you become the great Brahma king, then that's incredible. And you would be able to attain the lucid radiance, and then you have eternal light or eternal radiance, then you would become radiant sage. Also, accordingly, if one grabs on the 5 upholdings in a mundane way, if one's mind is holding on to white light, one will fall into hell. If holding on to yellow light, one will become a hungry ghost. Onto blue light, one will be reborn as an animal. Red light, one will go to heaven. And green light, one will be born in non-heaven. If one's mind is holding on to a mixed light, one will be reborn as a human being. If you still have attachments, like say in the nether world, in the spirit world, if you see a dim light, not bright light, but if you want to rise to a higher realm, then the light is extremely bright and radiant. If If you see the lights like in the red light, the sakura streets of Hawaii, the dim neon lights, and because you're so attached to light, but yet the light that you see is not bright, brilliant white light, and it's dim light, very dim, just like the lights in the red light district on Sakura streets. So it's a very attractive, differently bright light. Then if it's white light, you go to hell, and it's a dim yellow light, you become hungry ghost. A blue light, the animal, and if you so attach or hang on to the red light, you will go to heaven. If you attach onto green light, you will be born as a non-human. And if you grasp on the mixed light, then you would be reborn as a human being. This is about attachment toward light. Then this will happen. Although you have seen light, you have seen lights, but the lights are dim. But it's different if the light is extremely bright and radiant. So you need to be able to discern. The so-called mindfulness is that one should follow one's own affinity and be mindful towards it. This is of utmost importance. For sentient beings with inferior root, one should follow the instruction on the 20 dharma of the path and their supplementary instruction. So beings with low or inferior roots, then you should be mindful toward what's supposed to be yours. So Vajrayana or Tantrayana is the school of the mind. So you rely on your own mind to transform yourself and your soul. So it completely relies on your own mind, the power of the mind. So here it talks about the superior root, the middling root, and the inferior root. The superior root, people with superior spiritual root can become a Buddha or Bodhisattva directly. And people with middling spiritual root can go to the heavenly realms directly. And the inferior root can be reborn onto the 4 continents, the human path, or the Asura world, or the human world. The Asura is the non-human. And the 4 great continents, or the human realm, that's for the inferior roots. And then the 3 lower realms. So in our spiritual cultivation, at the very end, when you're about to leave the world, the instructions on that is here. Do you know why the Monkey King can blow and blow away all the demons with one breath? the mom asked the kid, and the kid replied, because he's been under this rock for 500 years and he never brushed his teeth. There's 5-finger mountains of the Tathagata subdue the Monkey King because he created chaos in the heavens. So the Tathagata used his 5 fingers to subdue him. And the Monkey King thought he was very formidable, that with one somersault, that would be 48,000 miles. And then he saw 5 peaks of mountains, but actually that's the palm of the Tathagata. And he thought that he got to that mountain, so he carved his name on the mountain, and then he peed on it. But it turned out he was still in the palm of the Tathagata. So the Tathagata subdued him and pushed him under the rock on that 5-finger mountain for 500 years. So of course he never brushed his teeth. So this is all talking about the mind. Doesn't matter how much you can think and imagine, you never leave your own mind. That's why the mind of a human being is important. So our spiritual cultivation is to practice to train the mind so that the mind can be at peace, at ease. And the mind should be able to meditate and to have wisdom and to know, to be mindful and to understand the process of the journey of the spiritual cultivation. And naturally, your body can emit light, and you would be able to true, pure light. Pure light. It's extremely brilliant, not dim and artificial. So you need to pay attention. There's some light that's quite enticing, but like the neon light, but that's not it. At the end of the school year, Xiaoming gave the report card to his dad. And when the dad saw it, got really angry. Why do you always fight in school? And Xiaoming cried, no, I didn't. I didn't fight. And dad, are you still arguing with me? It's written here on your report card. This is in Chinese. That in Chinese it sounded like he's always get along with everybody, but in Chinese it sounds like fight with everyone. Yeah, that actually he gets along with all other students. The same for spiritual cultivators or sadhakas. Between fellow disciples, we should get along well, and we should mutually help each other or supplement each other about your own insight and experiences. And if there are areas that you don't understand, you should ask Grandmaster, and Grandmaster will be able to adjust or help, because Grandmaster has done it himself, has his personal experience. But if you meet a guru that has not done it himself, then he's not a true or authentic guru. As a guru, you have to experience it yourself first in order to give the teachings. But if you're blind, then you would be like the blind, guiding the blind, because your disciples are blind. But if the guru is also blind, then the blind leads the blind, and together they would fall into hell. Therefore, the guru has walked the spiritual cultivation path himself, and he has to be in yogic union with the yidam, not with the ghosts, like the ghost witch, because she attracted the ghosts. Anytime a ghost appears, she would draw it into her. So if she raises ghosts, then she is in union with the ghost. And she wrote it in her magazines. When the ghost appears, she would draw the ghost into her. That's wrong. That's why she enshrined 5 ghosts and created statues for them. So that's problem. So she's blind. There's no gurus ever that would teach you to create statues for the ghost. It's been a long time. I almost forget the names of the 5 leaders of the ghost. The names 渡边一郎、中村一武、小林。另外还有一个黄金钱，一个叫林良知。林良知。那都是鬼啊。They're all ghosts. 那你雕那个鬼起来拜干什么？ So why do you want to create statues of them and enshrine them in the protector hall? That's wrong. How could you make the ghosts to be your protectors? So she's already blind. And she's listening to the ghost talks. That the ghost told her that Grandmaster Lu will die at 73, and she's been talking about it for 10 years. So you're extremely disrespectful. How could you talk about your guru like that? That's really too much. You know, how can you say, oh Guru, you would die at this age, or in a few years you would die? Then the Guru would catch you and beat you to death. As a little rascal, how could you say that the Guru will die at a certain age? So she's totally disrespectful. Disrespectful. Why are you talking about people dying at a certain age? Even Grandmaster never says that. I don't want to say, I don't dare to say the disciples, even about the disciples' death. That's a taboo. So you have breached that. You're talking about that her guru will die at a certain age, and she's been talking about it for 10 years. how could such a disciple exist? She has never read the 50 gurus, 50 stanzas of Guru devotion. You know, the 50 stanzas of Guru devotion is precepts. How could you talk about your Guru like that? And yet you're following such a person, then you're even more blind. You're such a fool. Think about it. You don't even understand how to be a human being. I don't dare to say when my Guru will die. So that's the integrity of a human being. And you don't even have that. How could you become a sage or a saint or a Buddha? You're really a dog poo. However, we still wish her well. Because you cannot have enemies, and you have to love your enemies. Really. We wish her well so that she can walk the right path and have attainments. She needs to repent and to cultivate spiritually. Just think about it. If you have such a disciple, how would you be? I would beat her until she limps. Until she limps. How could there be such a person talking about her own Guru and that he's going to die soon? When I was young, Mom often told me to be diligent in my study, otherwise I would be a garbage collector. Later on, I grew up and I knew those were lies. I worked hard in school, but now my wife still asks me to take the garbage out. In the past, I really did take the garbage out. You know that Simu's stamina and health conditions not good. So I was the one taking out the garbage. But now, good thing, Master Lien Yi helps. Where is she? She's right there. So now she's the garbage collector. So now she collected the garbage at my home. And the Venerable Lien Lien was the one taking care of the garbage here at the Tantric Quarter. And the garbage at the Southern Mountain abode. She would drag the garbage bin outside on Friday mornings. And on Friday night, you would drag it back. Also, you drag it out on Wednesday night and then drag it back in on Friday night. So now, she's the one, not me anymore. Boy, finally, I'm free. If your husband makes you angry, remember, never argue right face to face, that would hurt your loving relationship. You wait until deep in night, and when your husband is deep in sleep, then you slap his face, and all of a sudden he would wake up and confused and befuddled looking at you, and then you should tap gently on him and told him that, oh, you are having a nightmare again, honey, don't be afraid, I'm here. Remember, you have to use all your force to slap him. Then you would be able to resolve the hate in your heart. Actually, when you reach a certain state in your spiritual cultivation, there's nothing. You will not have such an emotion. When you reach such a state, all you have is joy and happiness. That kind of anger, resentful, and hatred, hate feelings almost disappear completely. You're always happy and content. And I feel very joyous and happy. Although I live my days in routine, I don't have to go to Bellevue Square to be happy. I have no such desire. You know, happiness, shopping, no more. The happiness that I feel is that I feel very joyous to see the disciples or to see anyone. To see the air here, the trees, the mountains, the water, I feel very happy. And it's very easy to fall asleep. I have nothing on my mind. My brain is empty. And there are only 3 places I go. One is the tantric quarter, the cafeteria at the library, and sleeping at home. So sleep at home, tantric quarter, and then the library. So at home I would do my practice and rites, and then Homa ceremony at the Rainbow Temple, and exercise. That's it. So I live my days in routine every day, the same. But it's extremely great. I see the fellow disciples come and go. If the old ones don't go, then the new ones don't come. So a group leaves and a group comes, always happy, helping people resolving their problems. That's extremely joyous. When the sufferings of human beings are alleviated, then I feel very happy. After giving help, I feel happy. And their sufferings have lessened. And they are not so attached to birth, death, separations. Become lightened, and all that's left is happiness and diligence. And if you reach such a state in your spiritual cultivating, that's extremely great. And then I don't have any illnesses or pains. because those illnesses and pains are also suffering. If pain and illnesses comes to me, then there would be time for me to leave the world. Of course, if I die without illness, that's good. But if I get sick, then it may be time to leave. That's good too. And that's called the transference of consciousness. The 6 attainments, inner fire, sleep and dream, the pure light, the poa, and then the illusory, and then the transference of consciousness. This is the 6 attainments of the 6 yogas of Naropa. And one of them is transference of consciousness. That when you reach the intermediate state, very fast you would be able to transfer your consciousness to a better realm. That's called the transference of consciousness.